It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And coming right up, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Dallas Mavericks. For Dallas, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And you talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. How about that fan base, guys? Some of the most rabid, supportive fans in the league. That place is loud.
One of the best home court advantages in the league. The bond between the team and the city is pretty impressive. I missed that. I know you missed that at Clutch City, Kenny.
Oh, I miss it, man. It's Thunder Mania. It's like it was Clutch City Mania. They fill that arena. They're loud. They're supportive. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to hear them.
And that's it for now as we send you to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew.
A view of I-40 in Chesapeake Energy Arena, taken from the Skydance Bridge in Oklahoma City. That's our setting tonight. The Mavericks are looking to defeat their Western Conference rival going into this game. A time-honored tradition, the NBA on 2K Sports, Sunday Night Hoops action. Delighted to have all of you with us here tonight. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. The Thunder enjoying this break from the road. Guys, when you compare their performance last season to where they sit right now, not a whole lot different story. Not necessarily a big surprise either.
And it's in your DNA. You come up against a natural rival, you're going to be a little bit salty.
You know, that's what makes these games great. I mean, no love lost between these two squads. It's great competition with a little animus sprinkled in there.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. And it should be a high-paced game tonight as both of these teams, Clark, thrive in the open floor. So with that being said, what makes these teams so good on the break?
Well, you're right, Kevin. They do thrive in the open court. Excellent transition teams because they push the ball and they really have a conscious effort to run the floor at every opportunity. That's what makes fast break teams hard to beat, is because they're running all the time. And that doesn't give your defense a lot of time to set up.
And it's the Mavericks to start out. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor for Dallas, Smith Jr. runs the point with Matthews at his side. They're the backcourt. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. And it's Noel in at the 5 spot.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Nowitzki is one of the best three-point shooters of all time. And if you talk about big guys, he may be the very best.
And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Dennis Smith.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, he's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
The first one falls.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
And Russell Westbrook drops them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Westbrook against Smith. Over in the corner, Matthews. Nowitzki sets a screen for Matthews. Misses the wing jab. And so here is Oklahoma City and this matchup with Dallas. It's their first meeting of the season.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
Yeah, there's a reason they were a playoff team. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to. We'll see if they can do it again tonight.
Sinks the three-pointer. 6 points for Nowitzki.
Boy, you got to respect the jump shot of Nowitzki. I mean, he's outstanding at squaring up, so fundamentally sound in how... Mercy, mercy me. And you know what? For me, these don't show exactly how great an athlete George is. I mean, sometimes you're surprised that the basket doesn't come down with the force he punches it with.
Westbrook against Smith. Barnes outside. Clock at 6. Over George. They get it back. Noel. Adams, some nice D.
And that's solid defense. Rock solid. Contesting without fouling. Well done.
Roberson gets the bucket.
He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
Dallas has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Wesley Matthews on the wing. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. Smith drives in. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Yeah, Smith makes you pay when he gets inside. Despite not being that big, he's got a lot of game in the paint.
Westbrook against Smith. Pass to Patterson. From past the arc. That one, no good. And it's Dallas the other way. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And that's one of those games where I just felt the attitude going in was wrong. I think they believed what was being said about them in the press, and that was a game that they just couldn't win.
I'm going to disagree with you here. I don't think it was about lacking confidence in themselves. I just think the talent difference between the teams was too much for them to overcome.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Mavericks.
And the three-point shot was a huge part of their game plan. When it was falling, it made them very hard to defend. Opponents were stretched out all over the place.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Smith against Westbrook. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Barnes against George. Barnes dishes to Smith. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Barnes. Barnes with another miss.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Smith with it. He's coming off a 13-point game against Cleveland.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist totals show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was.
And George kicks to Roberson. Left side Westbrook. Got it from 16 feet.
And Westbrook is a terror from the mid-range. Terrific at sticking it to the defense from that spot on the floor.
And Dirk Nowitzki last season passing 30,000 points for his career. As Clark enters his 40s, how much longer do you think he can keep it up?
Well, I don't know. He probably want to play until he's 50. And if he was able to, the Mavericks would certainly have a spot for him. But I think, you know, 40, 41, that's a pretty high bar for NBA players. But if anybody could do it, Dirk might hang around that long.
Pass to Roberson. The dish to Adams. Back to Roberson. The shot. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Smith on the wing. He's covered by Westbrook. Barnes passes to Noel. Back to Barnes. Nowitzki with the screen on George. Trying to get back on track. Dallas, no good that time either.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench if he keeps shooting it like that. He has been putrid here this quarter.
Now, here's Patterson. Really played well against the Clippers in his last outing.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Smith dishes to Noel. Now Smith. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Barnes against George. Shot from the wing. Barnes with another miss.
And with him missing literally everything he's put up today, you can see why the score is what it is.
Tries again, and it's Adams getting it to go. Adams has got his second bucket of the game to go.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Clark, looking across the NBA landscape, which post players do you see as the most physically dominant in the league right now?
Well, if you talk about physically dominant, there are a number of guys that fall into that category, but I would add this caveat: who's physically dominant and most skilled? That's DeMarcus Cousins. Marc Gasol is similar because of his skill set. Drummond is an animal and a beast because of his rebounding and strength and athleticism. DeAndre Jordan, much the same, but skill and physicality, DeMarcus Cousins gets my vote.
Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession. And here on the 2K leaderboard are the teams with the quickest hands in the league. In third, the Thunder.
You can't get careless with the basketball against this group. I mean, they'll pick your pocket, and no surprise to see them in the upper echelon as far as steals.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Powell's checked in. Here's Curry. 12 points his last outing. Barea kicks to Measuring. Powell, the pass to Finney-Smith. Back to Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
And, you know, this is what Powell does best. Establishes himself deep inside and jams it home.
The Thunder leading by 9. Adams with the screen on Barea. Westbrook dishes to Felton. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Dallas has gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. That one a little long.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Eustace, Measuring with the rebound.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Mavericks trail by 9. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And the pass to Finney-Smith. Now here's Measuring. Shot from the wing.
Really having a difficult time getting anything to fall.
Boy, you've got to give credit to the defense. I mean, this is where you want to really work for quality looks. Try to get that confidence back.
Westbrook with the bucket.
And, you know, Westbrook is fearless. Likes getting deep inside and finishing around the rim and plays in attack mode all the time.
Here's Finney-Smith. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. To the inside. Makes it off the glass.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Oklahoma City leading by 9. And here's Westbrook. Another guy who really kicked it up a notch for them in that Clippers game. Here's Eustace. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Eustace has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Mavericks shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Westbrook against Barea. Powell with the screen.
I think he's going to have to be more cautious on defense. He can't afford to pick up a third foul here in the first quarter.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. Jeremy Grant comes in for George. And Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And the Mavericks with possession here. A 12-point game. Curry on the wing. Shoots the three. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Felton kicks to Eustace. There's a good screen. Grant the pass to Collison. Back to Grant. 6 to shoot. He doesn't hit that one. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Curry outside. It's holding by Collison. The Thunder leading by 9. Here's Grant. Another shot. Here's Eustace. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Eustace has got 5.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Yeah, you've got to turn up the dial on the intensity at the defensive end if you're them. I mean, it's still early, but I agree with you.
Dallas calls timeout. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Mejri. Felton with the ball. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
Kevin, we're not too far along in the basketball season right now, so let's see how the Mavericks have done so far.
And let me add a few words about all their steals. I mean, they bring that toughness and aggression defensively. You don't get to be a top 10 team in that category by accident.
That free throw good from Collison. Clark, a lot of former players had a specific instance when they knew they were special, the way they played the game of basketball. Did you ever have a moment like that where you realized that you could make it as a player?
Yeah, there was a time when that became more realistic to me, Kevin. And I grew up in Cleveland, and during the summers, a lot of the Cleveland Cavaliers would stay in the area and play pickup basketball to stay in shape. And I got a chance to bump heads with a lot of those guys, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow, Austin Carr, Bingo Smith, Mike Mitchell. And I was only 15, 16 years old. And while those guys were going at half speed, it gave me the encouragement that I might be able to get to where they were if I continued to work hard and stay healthy. So at 15 or 16, during one of those summers, I began to realize that I might have a chance to realize the dream of being an NBA.
No one near Felton as he lets it go. Cans it from downtown. And the Thunder lead by 13. Dallas has gone 4 of 6 from long range here early on. Now here's Barea. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. Curry kicks to Powell. Powell with the screen, feeds to Curry. From deep three-point range, the offensive rebound. Curry on the wing. They set the pick. Pass to Powell. Another shot. Offensive rebound. And the basket good by Mejri.
Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
Felton goes in. Here's Grant. Off target from three-point range. Mavericks trail by 11. Dishes to Barea. Outside Curry. The feed to Powell. Powell with the screen. Here's Curry. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Curry's got it back down to within single digits for the Mavs. 16 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Felton against Barea. Right side Felton. Baseline J on the way. That shot no good. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Thunder lead by 9. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused what I am now, as far as being a sound player, a guy who's not all about himself, who puts his team first and who works hard and who doesn't talk back, who doesn't do the negative things. He's a team player, he's a team guy, and he works hard.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment to offensive rebound.
And you know what, Greg? It looks like they have an advantage there. I mean, I liked how they've made an effort, really a concentrated effort, to hit that glass.
On the court for Dallas here in the second, J.J. Barea is out there with Curry. Then there's Dwight Powell. Then there's Measure. And it's Finney-Smith in at the three. Quick shot there, and it's off target. Mavericks trail by 12. Curry dishes to Barea. No good with the layup. Oklahoma City has gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Grant, that's good.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Here's Abrinas, and that one is stuffed right through.
And a hard finish there, guys.
Yeah, and only one hand needed for that one.
Sometimes that's all you need.
And head coach Rick Carlisle approaching a decade with the Dallas Mavericks, and he doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah, and that's really remarkable in a profession marked by turnover. He's pretty much anchored in there. The Mavs organization smart enough to recognize they've got one of the best in the business in the NBA, but I would even say one of the best coaches in all of pro sports.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Now let's take a second to bring up our rookie leaderboard for a glance at this year's top first-year free throw shooters. Dennis Smith, 4th.
And really, he needs to continue getting to the free throw line as much as possible because he's pretty deadly once he gets there.
And it's hard to score in this league as a rookie. The charity stripe is one place where you can get some easy points, where nobody's on you. And he's learned to take full advantage of that.
Three-pointer, drains it from beyond the arc. Patterson's got his first 3 points of the game.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And Matthews kicks to Smith. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
Boy, you got to get out on Smith from deep, Kevin. He's very good at stroking it from downtown.
Felton the pass to Abrinas. They set the pick. It's Collison top of the key. Here's Patterson. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Patterson's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for Oklahoma City. And Smith gets double-teamed. Here's Nowitzki. Here's Noel. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Well, the former Kentucky Wildcat Noel is a phenomenal defensive player who's really starting to find himself on offense as well.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Thunder?
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And also, they've gotten the three-pointer to fall tonight as well. That's equally as important.
2 shots.
That's good from Noel. Clark, when you played, did you have any superstitions or a game day ritual that you would follow?
Superstitions are a waste of time in my book, Kevin. I had none, not any. I liked my pregame nap. I'd get a good pregame meal, and then it was about focusing on my assignment for that particular game and night or day. Superstitions, I know a lot of guys have them. They weren't part of my toolkit.
And Nerlens Noel out of Kentucky, slender and mobile and long, and Greg, he can cover ground in a hurry.
Boy, and you can see it in his rate of steals to go along with the blocks. That quickness is a huge asset in today's game. It's all about versatility, both offensively and defensively.
Mavericks trail by 15. Here's Smith. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Clark, the current era is so connected to fans through social media. Just how much has that changed the NBA, do you think?
Well, I don't think it's just changed the NBA. It's changed our society and culture at large, and it's here to stay. I just like to see people productively and fruitfully use social media. And I would like to see less of the vitriol and hatred that is afforded for people to hide behind with their negative comments.
The free throw drops for Smith.
Boy, the speed and shooting Smith possesses is dangerous. I mean, a speedy point guard who continues to get better.
Good on both.
And when you look at Dennis Smith Jr., you aren't blown away by the physicality at first, but he's incredibly gifted for a player his size. Great speed and quickness to blow by defenders.
And Patterson kicks to Felton. Back to Patterson. Over Nowitzki. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Barnes dishes to Smith. He tries for 3. Dallas, no good that time either. And with Dennis Smith, it isn't just burst of speed, it's his play in the open floor and Greg running end to end, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he also just jumps and finishes at the rim like a shooting guard. He's only probably 6'2", 6'3", but he gets up in the air like a wing player. He's a lot like Derrick Rose was when he burst on the scene.
Barnes outside. Pulls up on the wing. That makes it 7 straight misses for him. Definitely not the start he was looking for.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
The Thunder shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement, so that's some positive momentum they can look to build on.
That's good from Felton.
And really the past few seasons, the Thunder have just been a dominant team on the glass. They do a great job of limiting second chance points, and they get a lot of extra possessions with their own offensive rebounding.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Paul George comes in for Jeremy Grant, and it's Andre Robertson in for Alex Abrinas. You look over the roster of the Thunder, and it's easy to see why they're such a great rebounding team. 1 through 5 can come up with 10 boards on any given night.
And those rebounding totals usually translate to wins for this team. Very rarely do they lose a game when they're having their way on the glass. The goal at the end of the night is to play the bully in and around that painted area.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Barnes against George. Takes a shot at the elbow. Barnes with another miss.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Adams throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
And Kevin, plays like that are really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's a little salt in the wound there. I mean, they take a miss and turn it into one of the plays of the game. That hurts.
One shot. One shot.
And with a lot of players changing their team in the offseason, Clark, I know a hard part of going to that new team is learning how to play with a new teammate.
You know what? I never had a chance to experience that as an NBA player being traded, but I watched guys go through it, and you're right. It is difficult, much more so than people think, because you're adjusting to a different style, a different chemistry and vibe with your new teammates, and it takes a little while to figure out how you best fit in with your skill set to your new team.
Back to Westbrook. Here's Patterson. And it's sent back by Nowitzki.
And, you know, Nowitzki is capable of 86ing these shots now. That means rejection, using his height and wingspan to deny. He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
With the fadeaway. That's short off the rim.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over him.
Outside for George. Misses the three.
Boy, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Here's Barnes. He doesn't hit that one. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance, felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
And he can't get the first one. And the Mavericks ownership amongst the most outspoken and influential in the NBA.
Kevin, that is an understatement on both counts, outspoken and influential. Their owner is one of the best in sports, I think. The team's success has provided credibility, and with the league becoming more forward-thinking, things starting to swing again in Dallas's way.
He's off on the second.
And the Mavericks looking to go young now around Nowitzki. Unsurprisingly, they've already found some intriguing young prospects.
Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Now the Mavericks moving it up. Matthews, no one around him. No good with the triple. And for the Mavericks, you look at their young guys, a lot of athleticism, and Greg, an upside already on the roster.
And Mavs fans have to be pleased with what they've done so far. I mean, especially with the selection of Dennis Smith in the draft, who can be a special player at that point guard position. They're making smart moves to kind of revamp this roster.
They get it again. Noel passes to Matthews. Dallas moving the ball around. Smith with it. Westbrook picks him up. Nobody near Barnes. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Roberson. He's covered by Matthews. And Roberson kicks to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Mavericks trail by 16. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
There's a screen by Noel. Smith outside. Nowitzki kicks to Matthews. And it's Matthews again missing. Oklahoma City's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark, shooting the 3-ball well. Patterson can't get it to go.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And it's George missing. Dallas has gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Smith with it. Westbrook picks him up. Noel, a screen on Westbrook. There's a screen by Noel. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
It's just one of those games for him so far. Nothing seems to be finding the bottom of the net.
Westbrook dishes to George. Puts it up from 12, and he knocks down the jumper. George has got 6.
Boy, George is excellent at getting busy from the in-between spots of the floor. Really fleshing out and balancing out, rounding out his offensive game.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Westbrook kicks to Patterson. On the wing, George. Back to Patterson. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Yeah, nice unselfishness by George, zipping the ball to one of his guys as soon as he sees him open to get the shot off.
Matthews passes to Smith. Good on the 13-footer. He's got 9. Here's Westbrook. He's got 8. There's 1:54 left here in the second. Here's the teardrop, and he sinks the layup.
They're up right now because he's been dominant on offense, and man, I like seeing him catch fire like this.
Nowitzki sets a screen for Smith. From outside, off the mark. Oklahoma City leading by 18. Outside Westbrook, and Adams kicks to George. Back to Adams. He feeds it to George. 6 on the shot clock. Again, Oklahoma City.
And, you know, guys, this is why Paul George is a superstar. Makes difficult, contested shots look routine.
Smith kicks to Barnes. Shoots over Patterson. Here's Noel, and the whistle blows, so a chance here for a 3-point play.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
You know, Nerlens Noel made it pretty clear he was not happy with the logjam at the center position in Philly. Last season's trade cleared a path for him to show what he can do.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. Hustis comes in for Patrick Patterson. Grant, he's checked in for George. And Abrinas subbed in for Andre Robertson. That's good from Noel. And Noel has the mobility to defend 4s or 5s. The Sixers had tried him some at the power forward. But, well, you know, Clark, it really wasn't a fit.
No, it really was. I mean, he's a shot blocker and finisher first. I mean, you want him protecting the rim. And it's clear this guy is a center.
Mavericks trailed by 19. Noel, a screen on Westbrook. Pass to Finney-Smith from outside the arc. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Can't give up these looks. I mean, the defense has to be more aggressive guarding the perimeter.
Westbrook against Barea. Shoots from the line. And it's Westbrook again missing. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Down low, the putback.
And really, you know, Noel's very patient in terms of how he takes what the defense gives him. Just a smart guy who plays within his team's offensive schemes.
Here's Abrinas. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here's Grant. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting. They've been dialed in so far from the field. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Billy, balanced scoring for your team. How pleased are you with the way they're keeping everybody involved offensively?
Well, those guys, I think, have done a really good job of moving the ball and sharing the ball, and they're finding open men and they're willing passers. And I think because of that, they've been efficient offensively.
Open shots tend to be made. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 12 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, shooters were popping open right and left. Exceptional ball movement. Guys racing off screens, spotting up, knocking down shots. That's the way you play basketball unselfishly, and it was superb, and they exploited all the weaknesses of the defense.
And Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
Well, they struggled in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Inside, it's Patterson and Adams. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair, and it's George in at the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Here's Patterson. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Outside Matthews. Kicks it to Smith. To the left wing. And Nowitzki wide open. He fires. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got assist number 5 here tonight. It's Westbrook with the drive. Takes the 3. Hits the three-point bomb. Roberson's got 10.
Yeah, clearly a defensive lapse there. He is automatic from deep if you're going to leave him that wide open. Big-time mistake.
No one near Smith as he lets it go. And Dallas again with the bucket.
And I tell you what, if the defender is not on Smith before the pass, it's too late because he's always ready to fire, and he burns you.
Here's Westbrook, and Westbrook throws it down.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And it's Smith missing. The Thunder leading by 15. Robertson dishes to Adams. Rejected by Nowitzki. Barnes kicks to Matthews. To the inside. Shoots from 14. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got 6 rebounds now in the game. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. The shot by George, wide open. Off target from three-point range. Barnes kicks to Smith. Back to Barnes. Over George. Barnes can't get it to go. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. From deep, George. It's rebounded by Dallas. Noel's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. A 3 from Matthews, and he's good on the 3 ball. Matthews has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Westbrook passes to George. Back to Westbrook. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Westbrook's got 4 points in the quarter.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
And the Mavericks call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Russell Westbrook. Measury, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Barnes outside. Nowitzki a screen. That's a 2 from Matthews. The rebound by Patterson. The Thunder leading by 14. Outside, George. And then George with the jam.
Not much you can do against Paul George on the drive. I mean, he's got great length and he knows how to use it, and he gets exactly where he wants to.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Nowitzki a screen. And Andre Robertson is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Smith kicks to Nowitzki. Dallas again missing. For Oklahoma City, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Felton can't get it to go.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And that one's good. Barnes. Barnes has got 13 points.
Can't allow Barnes that kind of good position in the post because once he has it, it's dinner time.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Here's Smith. 11 points in the game. To the middle. Here's Measury. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for the Mavericks.
Well, it's pretty clear that they are having a lot of trouble in the mid-range. It isn't exactly the shot they are hoping to get, but when they have taken those shots, they just don't seem to capitalize. I would hope they try to go at the rim a little more as this game carries on and stop settling for jump shots.
The first free throw is good. And he makes both free throws. Here's Robertson. He's got 10. Outside, George. He kicks it to Adams. Oklahoma City moving it around. Pass to Patterson. Outside, George. Shot clock at 6. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
You know, Nowitzki, who's been a Hall of Fame player throughout his career, had an Achilles injury last year, and there was some question as to whether or not he would retire. Nice to see him back in action for one more season.
Here's Robertson. He's covered by Matthews. Adams dishes to Robertson. The pass to Patterson. Another shot. The shot missing. Good work defensively by Nowitzki. Barnes against George. Barnes passes to Smith. Nowitzki a screen. Smith kicks to Barnes. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. The Thunder leading by 7. Felton kicks to Adams. Robertson dishes to Felton. It's George on the wing. Good on the three-point shot. George has got 5 points in the quarter.
He can be dangerous from outside. Sure, he didn't get one to go in the first, but we know he can get on the roll and knock him down.
Drills the three-pointer.
And that's how you answer back.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, go right back at him. Show him you can shoot from outside all night long.
Screen by Adams. Here's Felton. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Felton's got 9.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Smith the pass to Matthews. Nowitzki sets a screen for Matthews. The rebound by Patterson. Patterson's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
You know, Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
And here's Felton from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
You know, leaving somebody that wide open is not prudent. I mean, you got to expect to get burned when you put that kind of effort forward.
And Matthews kicks to Smith. Nowitzki with the screen on Patterson. And stolen by Patterson. Here's George. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, I tell you what, George has tremendous bounce ability. It's always fun to see him launch and throw it down.
Mavericks trail by 14. Nowitzki sets a screen for Smith. Will it go? Nowitzki outside. And the 3 off target.
The defense better watch out. They better be alert because this guy can make threes, as we saw in the first half.
And George kicks to Patterson. The three-pointer no good.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Nick Collison's checked in for Steven Adams. Hustis comes in for Patrick Patterson. Grant, he's checked in for George. And Alex Abrinas subbed in for Andre Robertson. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Dwight Powell's checked in for Nowitzki. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Harrison Barnes. Curry's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. And now a fast break for the Thunder. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. We have a chance now to look at the teams that have created the most points off turnovers this season. Number 1, the Thunder.
And all those points off turnovers have been a huge bonus. I mean, that aggressive defense has also paid dividends at the offensive end of the floor.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Both good from the line that time. Mavericks trail by 16. Now Barea. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Trying to get back on track. It's hauled in by Felton.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Grant. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And, you know, Grant, a second-round pick, has worked hard for his minutes in the NBA. He's an exceptional athlete who plays with a real edge, a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Thunder?
Boy, guys, I really like how they've driven the ball to the basket in this game. I mean, they've been very aggressive with it.
Yeah, but don't forget about their points in the paint because those have been big.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And you take a look at Clark Dwight Powell, 6'11", 240 pounds. Do you see him as more of a power forward or as a center?
I think he's kind of a tweener, Kevin. I mean, he's a guy that I think can play both spots. He's got more of a power forward's body, but kind of a center's game. I mean, if he can develop that jump shot, I think his best niche would be as a face-up four-man.
Eustace kicks to Grant. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. It's deflected. Here's Finney-Smith. He's covered by Grant. No good from Finney-Smith.
When he's got that kind of positioning, he's got to score it. Got to score the ball from there.
And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
The Thunder have gone 9 of 13 from the line. And Oklahoma City making a change here. Westbrook's checked in.
One shot.
And that one falls for Collison.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Barea kicks to Powell. Just 5 on the clock. Measury misses. On offense, here are the Thunder. They're on a 16-5 run. Had a hand on it.
Like seeing Powell flex his muscle on the defensive end. Really good at timing his jump to block the shots.
And here we go. Fast break. Barea's got it. Passes it to Measury. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. And the first one drops. No good on the second free throw. Oklahoma City leading by 17. Here's Abrinas. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
For Oklahoma City, they have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game. Nerlens Noel checks in for Dallas.
One shot.
And right now at about 85% from the line, that's up from where it was in that first half.
Westbrook against Barea. Floats one, and he lays it up and in. Barea's got 5 points so far.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Pass to Abrinas. Puts up a 3. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got 5 assists tonight.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Powell kicks to Curry. Powell with the screen. Barea against Westbrook. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barea.
And let's check out some stats. Here are the numbers for Noel. He's putting up 9 points a game, 15 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And you look at his gaudy steal numbers defensively, he makes his presence felt on every possession.
And you know what I like about it, Greg, is he gets great position, then uses those quick, strong mitts of his to rip the ball out of there.
It's good from long range.
And, you know, this quarter has been all him, all about him. They're getting it to him in his spots, and he's taking over.
There's a screen by Noel. Barea against Westbrook. Outside Curry. There's a screen by Noel. Curry can't get it to go. Oklahoma City shooting it well here in the third, about 50%. Outside Westbrook. Pass to Houston. Fast break Dallas. Here's Finney-Smith. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Just 4 seconds left to play here in the third. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Oklahoma City out in front, running away with it. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
We've done a great job moving the ball. Let's keep the ball moving, extra pass, attack, pass, and play, okay?
Billy Donovan enjoying the activity his team is showing, the motion of his offense, just wants to see more of it.
Yeah, they're working together well. The key now is to try to do it consistently throughout the rest of this evening.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. On the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. They've got J.J. Barea. Powell is out there with Nerlens Noel. Then there's Seth Curry. And it's Finney-Smith in at the small forward position. Westbrook kicks to Houston. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Collison, foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
One shot.
Collison no good on the free throw. Clark, we've seen a few active players have their own podcasts that they produce throughout the season. I think that's a good idea or a bad idea for them?
Again, I'm ambivalent to that because the landscape is so different now with the social media platforms. And I like the fact that players have a chance to control their narrative, their story, through the different social media platforms, the Players Tribune, podcast. Now, you have to balance that with your responsibilities and obligations to your team, your teammates, and your franchise. And so that's where it becomes a challenge, managing your time effectively and using it wisely. But clearly, players should have the opportunity to be fully engaged people beyond just playing the game.
Barea kicks to Powell. He dishes it to Noel. Powell with the screen. Feeds to Barea. Shot clock at 6. Noel sets a screen for Barea. Got a piece of it. They push it up 4 on 3. Here's Collison and finished off by Collison.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul.
Side out.
That's foul number 2 for him.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Paul George, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Here's Finney Smith. There's the dish to Noel. Shoots a fader. No good off the front iron.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And it's blocked. Eustace passes to Collison. That one's not going to go. And it's Dallas the other way. Curry kicks to Barea. Back to Curry. Powell dishes to Noel. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Finney Smith. Great D that time from Collison.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Yeah, excellent extension on the block. Superb timing as well to swat that one away.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Barea, the pass to Powell. Yep, that one goes.
Dwight Powell really showing continuing confidence in his inside game, and I think he's only going to get better down there.
Westbrook kicks to Eustace. Dishes it to Collison. Here's George. Now the pass to Eustace. It's deflected. A look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Dallas also making some changes. Nowitzki comes in for Dwight Powell. And it's Barnes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Oklahoma City leading by 19 points. Westbrook drives in. And the rejection by Noel.
And the shot blocking skills of Noel are a staple of his game. Really one of the foundational pieces. He really takes a lot of pride in what he does on defense.
Kept alive. The kick out to Westbrook. Passes to Eustace. Over Barnes. Back to Westbrook. Pass to Eustace. Shoots over Barea. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
And, you know, even though they're up, he's been off his game this quarter, having trouble finding the basket.
Nowitzki sets a screen for Barea. Inside, deflects the pass. It's stolen by Adams. 20 feet out. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Barnes outside. Nowitzki dishes to Curry. Got a piece of it, but they recover it. Scooped up.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
The Thunder leading by 19. Outside Westbrook. Looking to end the drought, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Shooting two.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And Clark, we saw this a bit last season. When a team is up and it's garbage time, are there unwritten rules as far as shooting or scoring go?
I think you always want to play within the spirit of the game, the spirit of the rules, the respect of the game, and the respect of your opponent. So to me, that should be, you try to always do what's right and just and fair at all times. And late game situations create an environment where you want to always take the high road and play the game with a honoring attitude towards your opponents and the game.
Smith kicks to Barnes. He tries for three. Barnes with another miss.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
George with the bucket.
Gotta like whenever PG gets inside. A big, long presence who also has ball skills. Excellent feel for scoring in the paint.
Matthews passes to Smith. Hits it from three-point range.
That gives him his second 3 of the half with 3 total for the game.
And here's Westbrook. Adams outside. Back to Westbrook. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, the thing they did there, Greg, clogged up the passing lanes, playing them beautifully and making things hard for the opponent. That's really good defense.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, we've seen super teams more and more the last decade. Clark, are stacked teams like the Warriors or the Cavaliers, do you think, good for the NBA?
I think it's just part of the NBA. I don't think it's necessarily good or bad, quite honestly. I understand the way some folks look at that, having a dominant team that everybody chases or a couple of dominant teams. How about the Lakers and Celtics during their heyday, or the Sixers and Celtics when they were battling in the East? The Bucks were really good and couldn't quite get past the Celtics or Sixers. I think excellent championship caliber teams, only if there are a few. It's good for the league. I don't necessarily think it's bad. And when you've got competitive balance throughout the league, I think that's good too.
And the first one drops. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. And Dirk Nowitzki, what a career. 6th all-time in NBA scoring.
This season he'll have a chance to pass the great Wilt Chamberlain for 5th on the list. And when you talk about points scored with a single team, well, he's 2nd only to Kobe Bryant, the Mamba.
Here's Westbrook. No good with the wing jumper. Dallas has gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Westbrook against Smith. Barnes outside. Noel, a screen on George. Stolen by George. It's Westbrook with the drive. The shot's good on the assist by George. And it's now 23 points for Russell Westbrook.
Man, you got to admire how easily Westbrook takes over games. I mean, an offensive juggernaut who is tenacious when it comes to scoring.
Barnes outside. More and more we see coaches resting players to keep them from getting overworked. The benefits, Clark, are clear for the players, but is it something that is getting overused?
I don't know if overused is the right word, Kevin. I don't like to see it as much because I think there are other ways you can rest players. Games can be part of your strategy, but how about practices being more part of how you rest players? It got an awful lot of attention this past season, and for good reason. And I would think the coaches and players will adjust because it's not a good optics for your viewing public and your paying patrons to just arbitrarily do it. I understand it, but I think there's a balancing act that could be performed that would make it not appear as disruptive to the fans as it was this past season.
Shot clock at 5. All alone. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Screen by Adams. Westbrook kicks to Roberson. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Baseline jumper. He's off on that one. Good D by Westbrook. To the middle. Adams dishes to Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving it around. Offensive rebound. Outside, George lets the 3 fly. Nice D from Nowitzki. The Mavericks shooting 39% from the floor. Not their best. And Matthews kicks to Nowitzki. Smith with it. Barnes outside. Noel, a screen on George. Here's Barnes. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know, Harrison Barnes, guys, actually asked to become more of an isolation go-to scorer in Dallas. And you remember at Golden State, he kind of struggled in that role, but he's shown so much more confidence and comfort in creating his own shot this time around. I think he's embraced that role well.
That's good from Barnes. And the knock on Harrison Barnes was that he lacked the ball handling and fluidity to create off the bounce.
And, you know, Barnes, to his credit, didn't deny it. I mean, instead, he went to work. He's focused on staying low and studied guys like Paul Pierce, learning how to get to his spots.
Barnes hits them both. Thinking back to the great Warrior team from last year, Clark, how do you place them in a historical context for what they accomplished?
Well, they're on a short list of one of the great teams of all time in terms of winning a championship and what they did throughout the season to do so. You'd have to consider them as one of the outstanding teams in the history of the NBA.
And the Mavericks call time here.
Timeout.
Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Russell Westbrook.
He deserves a lot of credit, but the D they played on him deserves a little bit of the blame as well. Even when he got hot, they didn't do enough, I don't think, to try and cool him off, and they've been passive when they've needed to be aggressive, and boy, did he make them pay.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Here's Smith. And Adams sends it back. The feed now to Robertson. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. To the middle. It's tipped. It's stolen by Adams. The finish. And finished off by Westbrook.
The tenacity, the attention to detail. It's why these guys are in complete control.
And you know what, Greg? They are crushing it on both ends. I mean, in total control right now.
Smith, the pass to Barnes. He feeds it to Noel. Back to Barnes. Nowitzki a screen. The drive by Barnes. Dallas again missing.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Just a touch. I mean, it seems like he's forcing shots a little bit to me, Greg. Not playing his game right now, and with every miss, the pressure intensifies.
Now here is Smith. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. Oklahoma City's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Thunder.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Russell Westbrook.
There isn't much else you want from someone. He gave it his all and was rewarded with a triple-double.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
There, Smith wouldn't be denied. I mean, you can body him up, but he still finds ways to score despite getting whacked.
So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
One shot, mind the lanes.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Kristen, covered by Smith. It's stolen. The tray. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. .15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And there's the call on measure. That's his third foul of the game. Here's Kristen. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where is your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. See you later.